It's Fitness Friday, so we are finishing the week by making your muscles more glamorous. They can help you look good at the beach, but a strong core is going to keep you healthy and happy your whole life. We have Ryan Woods. We also have Adria here. You're going to give us an ab workout that we'll never forget.
It's not a traditional ab workout. They wanted us to focus on the core, and most people think of flexion, extension, or some type of rotation. Today it's going to be more of an isometric contraction, and the abs are primarily designed to sort of stabilize the spine, and one of the greatest lifts to showcase that action is when you're doing a deadlift, because this is a very functional lift.
So a deadlift is really a core exercise?
When you engage the appropriate musculature, then yes, it can be. So Adria, the reason why we're using a plate is a lot of our clients, especially the females, not so much for the men, but they tend to be intimidated because you're moving around heavy weight and they're not used to it. So when they're working out on their own in the gym, it's very important, it's crucial for them to feel comfortable moving the plates around so they can load and deload bars.
That's true. You see the big bars, that intimidates you.
Yeah, not only that, how do you get the weight on there?
That's true.
So this, this seems fairly simple, but this is a great exercise, one, to put her in a proper position and to try to cue her through the exercise so she's engaging the appropriate muscles.
Now, if people don't necessarily belong to a gym and they watch this segment intently, obviously discuss with a personal trainer first, is this something that they could grab a similarly weighted item and try at home?
I recommend you grab anything that you have at home, a laundry basket, anything that, anything that you have at your house you can lift up. The mechanics are always universal.
And now, how does one determine how much weight they can start with?
Obviously, you want to make sure you start with a very light weight, go through the movement properly, make sure that you're feeling it in the muscles that you're trying to work, and then you can increase the load from there.
Because there's so many activities, much like push-ups, which we've discussed at length on the show. If you're doing them wrong, you might as well just be sitting on the couch reading a book.
Yeah, obviously you want to make sure that it's always about intention, focusing on the group of muscles that you're really trying to work. All right, so when you're doing a deadlift, you're working the grip, you're working the glutes, you're working the hamstrings, you're working the whole upper back, and you're working the abdominals. There's a lot going on. It's a global exercise.
This is a great workout. Crunches no more. This is what we're going to do.
All right, so she's going to get into position. She finds a really comfortable position. Now, when I first have a client come in, I try to figure out what's the most comfortable foot position for them, where they would naturally feel, and then we work together from there because it's very individual.
Okay.
All right, next thing she's going to do is she's going to bend down, she's going to grab that weight from the outside. Now, she falls into a really comfortable position, all right, because she's been doing it for a little while, but here she's going to keep a very neutral spine, head in line with her spine. She's going to tighten up by filling up her belly full of air. She's going to tighten it up. She's going to tighten her glutes, and what she's going to do is she's going to lock out her arms, and she's going to stand up and breathe out.
So in this situation, she's lifting with her quads and her core. Is that accurate?
You're actually getting glutes, you're getting hamstrings, you're getting quads, and the core, again, and you can put that right back down, Adria. That's perfect. Is the weight naturally wants to pull her into this position, right? So what winds up happening is you have to use the core, both back and front muscles of the spine, to control it, to stabilize it, to prevent that flexion or extension. So when she's lifting the weight, she's protecting her spine as she lifts it.
Okay.
So again, it's isometric. All right, it's actually not moving necessarily in space, but it's contracting, okay, to stabilize the spine.
Can we see it again? Because I think this is a workout that a lot of people want to do, but I think it's one of the most intimidating you can find.
All right, so again, head in line with the spine. A lot of people have a tendency of cocking their head up. Okay, we want to make sure she keeps her head in line with her spine. She tightens up her glutes. She's making sure that she fills up her belly full of air. She tightens that up. Then she tightens her belly, locks out her arms, and she comes up, breathes out, and just like that.
And back down. Now, do we go slowly back down? Because oftentimes, when you're talking about something like bicep curls, the path down is arguably just as important.
Okay, it depends on what you're doing. For traditional kind of gym goer that's just trying to stay in shape, yes, I do think that a slow control negative on the deadlift is important. When you're looking at competitive lifters, a lot of times they're lifting as much as they can and then they just put it back down as fast and efficiently as possible. But I would rather you lift a lighter weight, especially when you're first starting, all right, to make sure that you're engaging the proper muscles and you're going through the exercise properly.
Now, because it's so much about just making sure you have your form right, how many repetitions of this should we do? Okay,
for her to start off a little bit lighter weight, I like to stay with all my clients in the initial stages 5 to 7 reps of a weight that doesn't really tax them too much. I really over-cue, tighten the glutes, make sure you feel any hamstrings, pull the shoulders back and down, draw on the abdomen, tighten it down, make sure she's feeling it where she's supposed to be feeling it before we go ahead and increase that weight.
Now, what else would you recommend for a core workout? Because I think a lot of people, they get lost. They think 100 crunches a day is the answer.
It depends on what you're trying to target. A lot of times people, when they go through crunches, are using momentum, or sit-ups use momentum to get up, and that's actually not great for your spine. I like a lot of static exercises, so deadlifts, squats, planks, things like that, where you're isometrically contracting that midsection and you're really focusing on your breathing. That's going to, I think, to start with, probably the most important aspect of core training.
So this is one of those things, though, consult with a trainer, and it's all about form over repetition. You got to get it right first, or you might as well just not do anything.
I agree with what
Thank
you're
you
saying.
so much. It's a pleasure to have you here. Fitness Friday, everybody. Also,